What happens when one person becomes the sun and the other, the earth, in a relationship? A celestial dance ensues with one entity revolving around the other in a pattern of dependence. Consider the case of Sarah and John, a couple in their early 30s. Sarah, a freelance artist, depends on John, a corporate lawyer, for financial stability. In turn, John relies on Sarah for emotional support and creative inspiration. This symbiotic relationship allows them to thrive, each fulfilling a role the other needs. But what happens when one party can no longer meet the needs of the other? Now imagine a different scenario. Picture Maria, a college student, and her academic mentor, Professor Smith. Maria relies heavily on the professor for academic guidance, while Professor Smith finds a sense of purpose in mentoring young minds. However, if Maria begins to depend too heavily on Professor Smith, hindering her ability to work independently, the relationship could become problematic. Dependent relationships aren't confined to human interactions either. Take a look at the clownfish and the sea anemone. The clownfish relies on the anemone for protection, and in return, the anemone benefits from the food scraps left by the clownfish. This mutual dependence forms a perfect symbiosis, a relationship that benefits both parties. However, not all dependent relationships are mutual. Consider the relationship between a tick and a dog. The tick, a parasite, depends on the dog for nourishment, but the dog gains nothing from this relationship. In fact, the tick can cause harm to the dog, making this a parasitic relationship. So what can we glean from these examples? Firstly, dependent relationships can be mutual and beneficial. Like Sarah and John, or the clownfish and the sea anemone, parties can depend on each other in different ways, leading to a stronger bond. Secondly, dependence can lead to problems if it hinders growth or independence. Maria's dependence on Professor Smith could prevent her from developing crucial academic skills. Lastly, not all dependent relationships are equal. Some, like the tick and the dog, can be harmful to one party. It's important to understand the dynamics of dependent relationships, whether they're mutual, one-sided, beneficial, or harmful. Recognizing these patterns can help navigate relationships more effectively, leading to healthier interactions and connections. Remember, like the sun and the earth, we all have our roles in the celestial dance of relationships. It's up to us to ensure that the dance remains balanced, nurturing, and respectful. So ask yourself, in your relationships, are you the sun, the earth, or somewhere in between?